Most people aspire to have a life like this, when living in the mountains with a stable career and not having to care a lot about money. So for most of you who want to live this life, I think money is the most limiting factor that's stopping you to live this life. But guess what? It's 2026 and there are plenty of ways to make money online, and you can live this dream life while working remotely from the mountains. And that's the mindset shift that we'll be talking about in this video, where I clearly lay out how I'm able to do this. If I can do it, then I'm pretty sure anyone in the world who puts his mind to it can definitely achieve this. You just have to clearly follow these steps. Let's talk about it. Let me just freshen up a bit. People sell different kinds of dreams in these make money online videos, but I'm going to make sure that I don't do any of that BS. I'm not here to sell you rainbows and unicorns. I'm here to tell you a no BS, unfiltered version of what it takes if you want to make money online. It's not going to be easy, but I can assure you and I can promise you, if you follow these steps, then in the next 12 to 15 months, you can start making real money online and you can start living this life. So the first step is always going to be to niche down. The freelance market is saturated and it is competitive. That's always going to be a factor if you're starting out today. But the surprising thing is that the market was always competitive and people still end up making money. The only credible difference that I have seen with people who make it and people who don't is the belief that you will or you won't. Because most of whatever we are doing, chances are that a lot of people are also doing it. So the only key here is to figure out how we are different. The central feeling should be that I want to become the absolute best at whatever I am doing. When I say absolute best, it means like I'm in the top 1% or maximum top 5%. So if someone comes to me and I'm good at this X thing, then I need to be an expert, and it would be very hard for anyone to find people who are better than me at that specific skill. That is the first goal. So niche down and work on that skill. So for example, if you are a video editor, there are multiple things that you can do. But if I had to start, I would just pick one specific kind of video. So for example, short form. So I make short form videos for real estate. So that's my specialization. I will create a lot of videos on that domain. I'll get very good at it, and it'll be hard for people to replicate what I can do. So what this does is it makes you the obvious choice for any client who wants to get their short form real estate photography or videography done. Another example could be, let's say you're a graphic designer. So rather than just being a graphic designer, let's say you pick a specialization, could be branding. Branding is also too broad. So I would pick that I build brands for SaaS companies. So that's my specialization and that's what I'm good at. So for SaaS companies, if they want to look for a brand designer, they come to me because it's very hard for them to find someone better than me. So pick a niche and get very good at it. And I'm sorry to say there is no hack to this. You have to pick a skill and you have to get very good at it. Because if you don't, and if you're a generalist, if you're picking up anything and everything that is coming to you, then you will never be the obvious choice. You'll always have to price yourself the lowest if you're trying to win a client or a project. And I'm sorry to say if you get stuck at this step, because this is going to take you time. So first you have to learn the basics of graphic design, and then you have to become a specialized person in branding for SaaS. It's not the other way around that you just pick up branding for SaaS and get good at it. So it will take some considerable time for you to get good at this. The next obvious step is to work on your portfolio. Let's talk about that. As a creative professional, your portfolio is your everything. If you don't have a solid portfolio, you're not going to get any clients. You need that social proof, and you need to prove to the clients that you can actually deliver what you're claiming, because at the end of the day, it's a service, it's not a product. So you can't just sell something and someone can refund. They're taking your services, they need to first buy into what you're selling. And think it from the client's perspective. It's a high risk investment. It's not a product, it's a service. Because if this doesn't work out, they can't just simply refund whatever they have done so far. At the end of the day, the clients will end up losing a lot of time and of course money. So this step is essential to build your trust with the clients, and also to prove to the world that you're the best at what you're doing. which we talked about in the last step. Let's take the video editing example. The first thing I would do would be to edit, let's say, 10 videos of very famous real estate builders or properties or anything that you can get your hands dirty with. They should seem like a showcase of your work. In case of branding, if you're doing branding for SaaS companies, I would do some mock projects. You can pick up any big shot SaaS companies like Slack or Notion and just rebrand them just for your portfolio and give your honest take on it. What I would do after this step is I would create a very detailed portfolio listing. My take would be Behance and Dribbble because they are a great platform for discovery and showcase your work. You should also focus on building your own website because that looks more professional to the end consumer, but make sure that you also personalize this website. Your website needs to talk about you as a person because the client needs to understand who is that person working with. So showcase that through your website and get that personality out. Another add-on to portfolio from my side will be creating and figuring out distribution. So start creating content online. It will be very different for every different individual. For most of you, Instagram and YouTube will be very relevant. I know freelancers who only have like 600 subscribers on the YouTube, but they make very detailed videos on their exact process, what they do, how they do it, and they only target one specific audience. And they make a lot of money just through the credibility that they have built on YouTube because they showcase their real work. So any potential client that comes to them, they do review their YouTube channel and then they get comfortable. Okay, this is exactly how this person has worked with these 5 people. Of course, they can work with me also like that. So invest in building your distribution, create a lot of content online, share your process, share a learning journey, share your portfolio, and share some interesting facts about you as a person as well. To do that, create content because that will be one of your strongest levers to differentiate yourselves. And in future, you might also get a lot of clients through just that social media platform. Once you're ready with all of this, of course, the obvious step is to start making some money. So let's talk about that. Now that you have figured out your niche and you have your portfolio ready, let's talk about platforms that would be the right choice for you at this point. There are a ton of platforms out there in the world that are optimized for freelance work like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, People Per Hour, Guru. There are too many. My personal recommendation would be Upwork because I have personally built Upwork profiles from scratch 3 times now. And the third one, the current one, has generated over $300,000. It is a top rated plus profile, which means I'm in the top 3% of all freelancers on Upwork. So let's break down Upwork as a platform. The first step is to review the competition. Based upon your niche, you'll search for the first 2 pages of freelancers and see how they are positioning themselves, what are they writing, what kind of portfolio they are sharing, and what's the overall essence that is happening on the platform. Once you have done that, then you are in prime position to then create your own profile and make sure it is comparative in terms of what you write, your portfolio, as well as your pricing. Because once you've analyzed 20-30 people, you know what the average pricing is for freelancers in your region. Because of course, there'll be European and US based freelancer who will be charging a lot more. You can't ask for that. You have to price yourself based upon the region that you're currently located in. My first suggestion would be, if you're new, make sure you're at least 20-30% lower than whatever the average is, because that would help you to win clients initially. Reviewing your competitors will also tell you a lot about your offer, what kind of deliverables you have to provide to your clients, and what are the number of iterations that you have to provide. So review it in depth because that's very important. Now to complete this second step, you have to make sure that your profile is fully optimized. It has all the relevant portfolios. The copy is very professionally written and you also stand out. Another small hack from my side would be that your bio should be very easy to understand for your end clients. Another important step in profile creation is that you include a video of yourself or your process, something that personalizes your profile and tells the clients exactly what you can offer. That is exactly why I was telling you to create content in the previous step, because it's helpful everywhere. The third step is to understand bidding, which basically means applying on jobs. So first, categorize and find jobs that are very relevant to you. There are a lot of scammy jobs also on a platform like Upwork, so you can skip that because every bid will require connects and that will cost you money. So first thing is how to write a bid. When you're bidding, make sure that you're talking directly to the consumer and their needs, because most people are going to write very similar things. So your bid or your proposal needs to stand out. Most people try to write proposals like they're trying to convert the client then and there. They lead with their experience, their portfolio, their rates, but that's not what the client wants. A good proposal does only one thing. It proves that you've understood the brief better than anyone else. Here's the structure that I follow. Open by referencing something very specific in their job post, and then in one sentence or two, explain what exactly you'll do to solve that requirement. And always end with questions, because that increases your reply rate. And Upwork is not a platform for just small gigs. You can look at my profile. There are projects that are 17,000, 10,000, 20,000. So I've closed projects that are worth that much money as well. So it depends upon what you're targeting. But if you're just starting out, again, my suggestion would be pick up smaller gigs just to build your portfolio and build your profile, because that is very important in a platform like Upwork. You can even tell your clients that you're winning this project, this is your first project, and I'm giving you a special discount just because I'm building my portfolio. You can even be honest and share that with your clients, because that has worked with me in the past. So my mindset with bidding has always been that I only need to get a reply and not to get hired then and there, because an open leads to a reply, and a reply leads to a call, and then a call eventually leads to a client. This process cannot be done through just a bid. So don't jump 3 steps ahead. Another side hack that I can give you about Upwork or any other freelancing website, and no one is sharing this, but to analyze your competition very well, you first need to create a client profile. Put a test project out and review all the proposals that you're getting, because that will give you an insight of what other people are talking about, so that you can optimize your process and your bids accordingly. So the advantage of working on platforms like Upwork is that are already looking for service in the category that you're providing them. So people are already out there to pay you the money. But this is not the only way to make money online. This is one way that is very beneficial when you're starting out. So next up, let's talk about how you can win clients through outbound sales. So the key difference in what we discussed previously and this approach is that those clients were already looking for someone to get their work done. When you're reaching out to clients by yourself, then they are not looking for someone. You're basically trying to tell them that you can do something for them that they currently cannot do. So the thought process is very different. First, let's talk about the platforms. And there are a ton of videos out there. You can check out all different platforms, but we can directly approach on email. You can go on LinkedIn and use the sales navigator to find out the C-level executives and the VP level executives for your target audience, or you can just go on Instagram. You can basically approach people on any platform you want. But the key here is, how do you stand out? So that message needs to be very precise, and you need to give them a solution of what you're trying to offer and what your proposition is. It needs to be clearly laid out. If you're in the phase of building your own portfolio, my suggestion would be make a list of the 10 best clients that there are for you. Now make a portfolio just specifically targeting these 10 clients. So if you were a short form real estate video editor, then I would pick 10 real estate firms that do not have great short form content, and I would make a sample video for them. And then I'll try to reach out to all these C-level executives in each of these companies and show them, okay, this is what I've made just for my portfolio, but I'm sure if you work with me, then I can create these great videos for you. That's how clear your proposition needs to be, and there is no hack to this. The more people you approach, the better your chances of getting a reply are. And yes, 8 out of 10 people are not even going to respond back to you, but that's an industry standard. That's something that you have to deal with. So if you can approach 100 people, I'm pretty sure that you will get 10-12 replies, and 10-12 replies are enough for you to win 2-3 projects and start making some real money. When you're pitching a service, make sure that you're not pitching any low-level task, because most of them can be easily automated through AI. So people don't want to hire people. People want to hire AI solutions to fix them. So make sure you're proposing a high-level task. In the same example, that I'm going to make sure that you can get leads out of your short-form content, because I understand real estate video editing, and this is the kind of work that I do. So what you bring to the table is your creativity as well as system that you have created, and what it does for them is give them a very real output. Okay, we're going to get more leads if we work with this dude. So that's essentially what the proposition should be. It needs to be very clear. And this one is a painful process. Now that we've discussed pretty much everything, the next obvious question is, how much time is it going to take for you to do all of this? And is it even realistic to do this? It obviously is, because I'm doing this and I don't think I'm anyone special. So I'm pretty sure you can do it as well. But let's discuss the timelines and how you can exactly achieve this. I need a chair. To summarize all of it, let's talk about the timeline, how much time it will take to do all of this. First, you have to become the absolute best. That's going to take you years and years and years, but it's a process. But your journey can start within the first 3 to 6 months. First, you learn a skill in the first 3 months, and in the next 3 months, you get very good at it. In this time frame, you've also learned how to position yourself and what niche you're getting the best at. So you know exactly what you're solving for and who you're solving for. The next step is working on your portfolio. That's going to take you a month or two just to create enough sample work so that you can start showcasing it to your clients. When you're learning, that will also be a time to create a portfolio of sorts, because you'll be producing something. So this step is kind of interlinked with the first one. So in this first 6 months, you have established your skills as well as your portfolio. In the next 3 months, you will learn how to figure out the different platforms, how you're going to approach clients. You'll get better with sales. You'll get better with outreach. You'll learn all of this. But 3 months is a good timeline to win your first 3 to 5 clients. You can underprice yourself initially, but make sure that you've made a conscious choice for the first 3 to 5 clients that I'm underpricing my services right now, so that I can have some real money and I can have some real portfolio, because after these first 3 months, you'll start shooting up your prices. Now, in the next 3 months, you'll start seeing real growth. So if you had positioned yourself at 50% of the price, your prices are double now. Now you have started make use of the platforms that you're good at now, and you're starting to make real money. Make sure you make a list of your monthly goals, your objectives, how much money you need to survive, so that you never undershoot from that budget. That's a topic for a different video on how to price, but make sure that you never go in negative if you have set a goal of 1 lakh a month. So always try to close clients within that range. If you can only deliver 1 project a month, then your project cannot be less than 1 lakh. If you can deliver 2, then you can even price your services at 50,000. So just think about it intelligently, and I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure this out. So more or less, it'll take you around 9 to 12 months to become a good freelancer. You'll have enough money to travel the world, work in places like this, enjoy the mountains, enjoy a remote life, a slow life, keep working on the side, because all of this is possible. The market is more competitive now, so more than ever, but with AI, your processes will be faster. You'll be an AI native person, so you'll be faster than others, you'll be better than others, and your clients need you because you're the absolute best at whatever you're doing. So have that belief, and I'm sure you guys will be able to crack this. You just need consistency. Do not side quest, just focus on one thing for the first 2-3 years. Once you have made enough money, then you can side quest all you want. But right now, if you're starting out, 2-3 years, get deep, make money, live this life, experience this, and then make a decision for yourself. What else do you want to do? That's it for today. I'll go enjoy now in the mountains. Until next time, may the force be with you guys. Oh, बहुत धूप थी. अरे भैया यार. Let's talk about how to make money. चलो कट.